If you're researching living in Prince George, you've probably heard locals divide the city into two main camps, the Bowl and the Hart. And if you haven't, you need to understand this geography before you buy, because they are essentially two different lifestyles separated by a river. Today we are heading north of the Nechako to explore Hart Highlands. But is the commute across the bridge worth the extra space and privacy? I'm Marc Basselt. My goal is to help you feel secure and supported in your move, ensuring you buy right for your lifestyle. In this video, we're doing a deep dive on Hart Highlands, the housing stock, the amenities, and the honest pros and cons, so you can decide if the northern life is right for you. Let's begin. First, let's get our bearings. Prince George is physically divided by rivers. To get to the Hart, you cross the Nechako River via the John Hart Bridge. For years, people in the Bowl, that's the city center, would joke about needing a passport to go to the Hart. But the reality is, the commute is incredibly straightforward. You're looking at about a 10 to 15 minute drive from the bridge to downtown. However, that physical separation creates a distinct physiological vibe. Living up here feels slightly removed from the hustle of the city core. It's quieter, the air feels a bit fresher, but you have to be okay with driving. This is not a walkable neighborhood where you stroll to a cafe in the city center. But here's the teacher tip you won't see on a listing: the elevation. The Hart sits roughly 400 to 500 feet higher than the downtown Bowl. That elevation change creates a literal microclimate. For one thing, the air. You're often above the valley inversion, meaning that when it's foggy downtown, it's often sunny up here. Number two is the snow. We call it the Hart tax. You'll likely get snow a week earlier in the fall, and it stays a week or two longer in the spring. If you're a gardener, you'll have to adjust your planting dates. If you're a skier, you'll love it. If you want to know the real heartbeat of the Hart, you have to look at the numbers. We aren't just a small pocket. The greater Hart area has a population of over 13,000 people, and it's growing, up 4.4% according to the latest census data. But here's the stat that should matter most to you as a buyer. 86% of the people living here own their own homes. In the real estate world, that is a massive indicator of stability. People aren't just passing through the Hart, they're planting roots. This is reflected in the average household income, which sits at over $117,000. It's also an incredibly young and active area. Over a quarter of the population is under 20 years old. It's neighborly, but private. It's the kind of place where people have room for their toys, boats, RVs, and snowmobiles, and easy access to trails to use them. If you have kids, pay attention to this section. The Hart uses a closed-loop school system that builds a massive sense of community. Here's how the funnel works. We have 5 main elementary schools: Hart Highlands, Glenview, Springwood, Nechako Lake, and Ecole Heather Park. If you want the choice program, specifically French Immersion, you want Ecole Heather Park. Its catchment is technically the entire district, but it's a staple for Hart families. A crucial note for health-conscious parents: all of these schools are strictly nut-aware, and Springwood and Heather Park go a step further as scent-aware campuses. The best part of the system? All of these schools funnel into the same high school, Shasti Kelly Road Secondary. Your kids will graduate with the same friends they made in kindergarten. That consistency is rare. Now let's talk about the houses. If you're moving to Prince George and you want a detached home on a decent-sized lot, the Hart is your playground. A massive 79% of the housing stock here is single detached homes. We aren't going to see a ton of high-density condos here. In terms of vintage, most of this area was built out between the 1960s and the 1990s. You'll see a lot of what we call BC boxes, cathedral entries, and split levels. The beauty of this era is the lot size. Unlike new subdivisions where you can shake hands with your neighbor through the window, the Hart offers wide frontages and deep backyards. Many of these homes have detached shops or room to build one, which is a huge selling point for buyers here. One of the biggest misconceptions about living north of the Nechako is that you have to drive downtown for a liter of milk. That's just not true. You have the Hart Center Mall, which anchors the community with the Save on Foods, Shoppers Drug Mart, and Home Hardware. You can honestly go weeks without crossing the bridge if you work from home. And the lifestyle? You're physically closer to northern lakes. Ness Lake and Summit Lake are quick drives from your driveway. Living on the north side shaves 20 minutes off your drive to the campsites every weekend. I can't talk about Hart Highlands without mentioning the Hart Highlands Ski Hill. This is an absolute gem for families. It's been a community staple for over 50 years, and it's located right here on Winslow Crescent. Imagine being able to pick the kids up from school and be on the lift for night skiing 5 minutes later. It features machine-groomed runs, 2 T-bars, and a terrain park. They even have a parent and taught program where you can learn to coach your little ones. For many residents, having this in your backyard is the single biggest reason they never want to leave the Hart. So, is Hart Highlands the right neighborhood for you? If you want walkability and nightlife, this ain't it. But if you value space, privacy, and a strong family community, and being close to the lakes, and you want that classic detached home on a big lot, the Hart is hard to beat. If you found value here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next neighborhood deep dive. I'm Marc Basselt, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.